talk about the next assignment. Okay, here we go. Due date, the 17th. I think that's accurate. So basically, we're just taking the last project we did, which you guys will be handing in soon, and moving on to the next level. So now, in this, what I want you to do is create a scene that has some kind of action. It could be walking, conversation between two people, or someone doing some form of an activity. But the thing here with this activity, it needs to have a start, a middle, and a finish to the action. And you must be able to show that in your scene. So again, keep it simple. The simpler the better. This does not have to be a super elaborate pre-visualization of something. What you want to really think about what we're doing here is storyboarding. This is kind of our gateway to understanding storyboarding a little bit. And a lot of times I'll do this. I'll actually take a still camera and storyboard out a scene by shooting stills of it. So this is going to be practice for both when we shoot our first scenes and also practice for getting comfortable with stills to make maybe potentially doing storyboard work. And we'll talk about that more in detail when we get to how to do storyboards. So for now, so what you want to do is think of a scene and then shoot still images of the scene that kind of show me the action. And what you're going to end up doing is renaming those shots in order. You're going to arrange them in the order like with bridge, like I showed you, and then you're going to number them in the order so that when we look at them, we're going to critique them and look at them in a sequence and see if it works. So you want to shoot a series of shots that are using the still functions of your DSLR camera. Each shot will show a different angle of the same action. You want to repeat the action for each new shot as needed. The goal is to have a series of shots that can be edited together and visually tell the story of this action. Think again, this is like a storyboard you're making. So if I've got a scene, simple action scene of someone just walking up to you guys like this, right? Hey, everybody, glad to be in class today, right? Boom, there's my action. How many shots do I need to cover this? Well, maybe a wide shot. So maybe I want to take a picture in the wide, and then maybe I'll take a couple pictures in the wide. So one at the beginning of the action, in the middle, and then maybe at the end. Then I'm like, okay, well, what do I need now? Close up. So maybe I'll move the camera and do a close up, do the same thing. And then once I get all enough angles that I think I'm comfortable with, then I'm going to arrange them in order that tell a story. So maybe I start on a wide shot. Maybe I cut to a low angle with feet. Maybe I cut back to a close up. I want to visually show that. And so you want to think of this as kind of just like a practice of doing storyboards and getting ready to shoot a scene. And so one of the reasons I do this is because a lot of times when I taught this class in the past, students were just jumping into the first project. And I was getting footage back that was not framed right. People weren't understanding the idea of blocking and composing shots and doing coverage. And so this is a quick way to get everybody's head in the game about what it is to get coverage without going through the misery of trying to shoot another short. Because here you can just take your camera, even if it's just your friend or your sister or your brother or anybody, and just spend an hour or 2 hours, whatever time you have to do it. How elaborate you want to make it, it's up to you. But it's a good practice. And when we walk away from this, we're going to really have hopefully a better understanding of coverage and what we need. So the thing you want to do is think about this assignment you're wrapping up now, right? Composition wise, so am I shooting interesting shots that are composed nicely? I'm going to now move it on to the next level with this assignment. I'm going to still shoot compelling, nicely composed images, but I'm going to put them in an order, in a sequence that tells a story. So your scene coverage you must show examples of scene coverage that must include the following. So we should have an established shot. You should have a master shot. Maybe a wide, maybe a medium, close-up, extreme close-up, insert shot, cutaway shot. All these things just to kind of show me that you kind of get what we've been talking about the last couple of weeks. So again, the purpose of the assignment is to create a series of still shots that properly covers this action and shows the action from start to finish in the scene. What do you need to turn in? Need to turn in at least minimum of 10 to maximum of 15 still shots. So don't give me 100 shots that's looking like stop motion in a flip book. 10 to 15 shots should do the trick. They should utilize some of the cinematic design elements we talked about. We should utilize rules of thirds. Think about triangle coverage that we talked about. Think about the 180-degree rule, screen direction, all that stuff would kind of come out. This is like your first dry run at putting it all together and making something. And pretty much once we're done with this, we're going to start getting ready for the actual real deal. So obviously shots must be in focus. They should be properly exposed. You want to rename each image with your name, assignment number 3. Is this 3? It should be 2, right? Yeah, that's wrong. I have to fix that. And an order number for the shot sequence. So for example, I want to have my name, assignment number 2, shot 1. 01 means that's the first one in order, then 2, then 3, then 4, then 5, then 6. This way, when I get them all, I can put them in the order we're going to look at. If you don't do this, then I've had students in the past just upload all their images and have no understanding what order they need to be in. And then when we look at it, there's no sense or rhyme or reason to the story. So you can basically use Bridge to do that. Once you get them all loaded up in Bridge and you get it down to your selects, right? I can rearrange these in the order that I want. And then I can tell the batch rename process to rename them and put a new number at the end, zeros or whatever, or rename them how I want with the consecutive numbers and have it do it for me. And and I'm not strong arm you saying thou shall use Adobe Bridge or you fail. No, if you're like, nah, I'm not doing this, I'm just going to do it old school way and do it by hand. Sure, as long as the end result is what I'm looking for, that's all that really matters.
And then, I'm sorry, how do you get to the Adobe Bridge on Adobe again?
Well, once you download everything, the way Adobe works is when you finally get access and you get it, you're going to get a little app called Creative Cloud.
Oh, right. Okay.
There we go. So you'll get an app that looks like this. So this app will come up, and this is the installer. And so it's going to ask you, what do you want to install? And so look at all these apps I got running in here. And it'll look more like this. Hey, do you want to install Dreamweaver? Do you want to install Audition? And you're going to install Bridge. You're going to definitely install Premiere Pro. You can install Photoshop if you want, and probably Media Encoder. And then you'll have then those apps will be on your computer. And then you should be able to call them up. Just wait. So this is due October 17th. So that gives you, 20 plus days to do it. So there's plenty of time to do it. So a couple things. Please don't rush job it. Don't just wait till the night before and go out at night in your backyard and hammer something with your little sister who's still late up for bed and wants to go to sleep and is cranky. So just take some time. Just pretend think of this as practice for actually shooting the first project. Think of a cool little sequence that you could shoot. However complicated you want to make it, it's up to you. You got plenty of time to do this. And the only thing I will tell you is get it done sooner than later, because we're going to start going into pre-production in a few weeks, and you don't want to be having too much workload dumped at yourself at the end. So sooner the better.